Parents, some of you may have to send your child back to school this fall with their face masks on. Governor Northam announced today he's going to leave this decision up to each school division.
CBS 6 is digging deeper and bringing you perspectives from both sides of the debate, from parents to politicians. We start with our Cameron Thompson, who breaks down the new guidance and speaks with a pediatrician about it all. Cam?
Yeah, and Bill, as you mentioned there, the key word there is guidance, as the state says that they are making recommendations about what school districts should do in the upcoming school year, but it is ultimately leaving it up to them.
When the current universal mask mandate for schools expires this Sunday, state health officials say local school districts can decide what COVID-19 precautions make sense for them.
And we understand that communities are going to be in different places at this point. Might have different needs.
However, VDH does recommend minimum standards for them on issues like spacing, testing, and mask wearing. On the latter issue, Dr. Lori Fulano says they recommend everyone in elementary schools be required to wear one regardless of vaccine status.
The rationale there is that this is a overwhelmingly unvaccinated, if not completely unvaccinated, student population.
While for middle and high schools, they recommend masks for unvaccinated people. Earlier this week, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommended a universal mask mandate for all school levels because of, among other reasons, possible difficulties tracking who does and doesn't need to wear one. On that issue, Forlano says school districts should confer with their legal counsel.
How schools choose to implement whatever policies they put in place, that's going to have to be worked out with their, school leadership and appropriate legal advisors.
Officials say in both making the initial decision and any changes, schools should look at several variables.
Vaccination coverage, community transmission, what's happening in their school, what their community wants.
Again, these are only recommendations. The only requirement after the 25th will be for masks on school buses because of a federal mandate. In response to the guidance, VCU pediatrician Dr. Tiffany KIMBROUGH says she's happy with the elementary school recommendations, but hopes school follow the AAP guidance of masks for all levels, regardless of vaccine status.
Especially when you think about those mixed age classrooms, you have 11 and 12-year-olds all together, thinking about those social peer influences of some kids being masked and others not.
Now, we have reached out to the local school districts who, for the most part, say they are reviewing this new guidance, the one exception being Hopewell Public Schools, which begins year-round schooling next week. And they say they are following the recommendations from the AAP, which says that everyone, regardless of vaccination status, should be wearing a mask when school starts on Monday.